If animals could speak, what would happen? This wouldn't be a fairy tale. It would be a global trial where humanity is the defendant. Every day they watch us. They see our secrets, our fears, and our true nature. Think of Punch, the baby macaque whose viral videos are covered in millions of likes and heart emojis. In a world of speech, that cute video transforms into a horror film. Instead of a playful chirp, you would hear an 80-decibel panic cry, a raw indictment of human entertainment. The silence we enjoy today isn't peace. It's a shield against a guilt we aren't ready to carry. Today, that shield breaks. Welcome to the Biosemiotic Revolution. You would hear thousands of species describing the heat not as a fire, but as the unraveling of their entire history. You would hear the birds narrating the fall of trees that have stood for centuries, their voices carrying the weight of 1 billion lost secrets. The rainforest transforms from a silent wilderness into a global courtroom, where every rising column of smoke is no longer just a fire, but 1 million voices reaching out to us one last time before they vanish into the clouds. They won't be singing beautiful songs anymore. They will use their 1,600-kilometer oceanic phone line to scream, in agonizing detail, the physical sickness of swallowing our plastic waste. The abyss becomes a global speaker system where giants broadcast their pain across entire continents, making the glass in coastal cities vibrate and the very tectonic plates beneath us pulse with their collective rage. Now, look at your dinner plate. A cow possesses 40,000 taste buds. It becomes an epicenter of 150 decibel shockwaves as thousands of sentient beings stop being products and start being voices, asking a single, earth-shattering question. Why? Daily life would be unrecognizable. The era of the nature documentary would vanish. Watching a lion chase a gazelle would no longer be science. It would be a moral crisis. Nature stops being a spectacle we watch from a distance and becomes a collective consciousness we are forced to negotiate. Dogs would stop being just pets and become the ultimate mirrors of our guilt. To the man who leaves his dog in a cold shelter or a locked apartment for days, the first words wouldn't be a bark. They would be a devastating question. Why did you leave me when you were my entire world? If dogs are our mirrors, cats are our silent, cynical biographers. They watch us from the shadows, seeing versions of us that no other human knows. But their first words wouldn't just be about our secrets. They would finally explain their absurd chaos. That glass they knocked off the table? It wasn't an accident. They would tell you, with a straight face, that they were simply testing the gravity of your world and finding it lacking. They would remind us that for thousands of years, they haven't been our pets. They've been our landlords, observing our clumsy lives and wondering why we take ourselves so seriously when we can't even catch a laser pointer. Ultimately, animals talking wouldn't make the world sweeter. It would make it impossible to live in. It would be a world of 20 quintillion voices, constant judgment, and the definitive end of human supremacy. Perhaps evolution gave us the ability to speak, but gifted animals the mercy of silence. Not for their sake, but for ours. If we truly heard the collective roar of the trillions of lives that sustain our world, the weight of that truth would crush us. We were never the masters of this planet. We were just the only ones who wouldn't stop talking. The monologue is over. The choir is waiting in the shadows. If the silence were to end today, which animal's truth would you be most afraid to hear? Leave a mark in the comments to join our gathering of curious minds. And if you seek more realities where the silence breaks, join the Alterverse. Listen closely. Can you hear them yet?